Hey guys, I'm Midget, and today I'm running Rooftop Renegade. I'm here with one of the programmers of the game. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name's George. I'm the lead programmer for Melonhead Games, and this is our first project that we're hoping to launch next year.
Alright, so as soon as I hit confirm, the time's gonna start, and what I'm doing today is running through each of the levels currently available in the game. Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so would you like to explain some of the mechanics of the game?
So Rooftop Renegade's a fast-paced action platformer. We're taking a really big focus on the speedrunning elements of the game. There are a few different abilities the runner has at their disposal to try and accelerate their progress through the level, and especially in different routing options that are available.
So this is just the tutorial level. Sorry? Oh, you have to get closer to the mic. So yeah, this is just a tutorial level. So we're just going through some easy hazards. It's explaining how to play the game. Next level you'll see they introduce the gunner. So that's just a guy who tries to stop you. He shoots different hazards that activate, or he shoots out platforms that you want to go on. So right now, we want to try and collect as much of these crystals as possible, because they give you boost. Oops. Just gonna have to wait for my boost here. So the idea of this game as well, like you've got police following you. You're like a underground courier, I guess.
The official law is you are a underground data courier that's trying to protect information from the big corporation that's controlling everything. These gunners that are trying to stop you are part of Globocorp, their security forces. This is the first level that introduces the gunner, who will shoot out any of the benefits that you can potentially use and activate hazards that will slow you down.
So what I just picked up there was a cluster. So that actually disrupts the gunner. He can't shoot for a small amount of time. There are 3 in each level. You want to try and get as many as possible while keeping to the most optimal route.
Those clusters will also fully recharge your boost meter, so you'll be able to use an ability straight afterwards.
What I'm going to try to do in most of these levels is stay as high as possible, just because there are a lot more hazards towards the ground, and it's just a lot cleaner, lets you move through a lot faster. Some parts have more crystals throughout like the middle or the ground, but it really depends. Like the gunner chooses what he wants to shoot out. You have to really adapt, and that's one thing I really like about this as a speed game. The fact that you have to be able to adapt on the go and just really try and be as skillful at the game as possible. So this isn't your typical break the game kind of speed run. It's more about just trying to play the game at the most optimal level possible. So was there any specific inspiration that made you want to make like a speed running kind of like game?
There are quite a few of us in the team who are quite avid followers of speedrunning. We do enjoy watching the speedruns of other games. And when we started making our own game, we really wanted to focus on the fact that speedrunners would be able to pick it up and speedrun it. So we try to cater that as much as possible. Inspirations for the game come in games like Sonic. We definitely draw inspiration from that. Art style wise, there's things like Jet Set Radio.
I love that game.
But we really wanted to focus more on the flow of the platforming experience, just running through a level and trying to do it as quickly as possible.
And you guys here at PAX have a booth with the game, so these guys can try the game themselves, right?
Yes. If you guys would like to try the game out, we are in PAX Rising this year. The build we've got in PAX Rising is a bit more refined than this one. It's one we've been working on a bit longer before we pass it off. We've also introduced our newest world. Up until recently, we've only been demoing Cyber City, which is our first world. At PAX, we're demoing our second world, which is called Rising Resort, which takes you out of the dark, grimy city into a resort in the clouds. It's a bit more of a contrast and very bright level, and adds in a lot more hazards that are potentially more dangerous, and requires you to use the slide mechanic a bit more to keep your run as optimized as possible.
One thing I want to try and do as much as possible is keep on these blue rails while they're still blue. They give you a speed boost, and if you boost on them, you get a further increase in speed. Once again, the gun is trying to shoot out as much as possible, and that makes it a real challenge, makes it so you have to really adapt on the go, and that's what gives this challenge as a speed game, which I really like the idea of. It's also just the fact that this game is non-stop. Like what I'm doing right now is just every level, one after the other, no breaks. It's just constant go, 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 which is a real, I guess, stamina endurance challenge, which is just another big part of speedrunning. When he shoots those blue rails out, I actually travel slower on them. So I'm trying to jump as much as possible when he does that, just to avoid slowing down.
You'll also find when you're in the air, your momentum carries a bit better. You won't be as decelerated as harshly as where you are when you're on the ground. So I noticed one thing you do a lot is you jump before you boost to try and get the most out of it.
Yeah, I always want to be in the air to just carry my momentum. Hitting the ground, sliding, there are lots of things to affect your momentum, and we want to keep it as high as possible. One mechanic I'm using a lot of is the drop mechanic. So sometimes you'll see me snap onto a rail or just quickly duck under a hazard. It's because the left trigger lets me just go down, which just makes it easier to stay on the most optimal route or ensure that I don't get hit by particular hazards.
We've also tried to make the movement have a little bit of give, a little bit of forgiveness. One thing I've seen him do a few times is just as he quite gets off of the platform, you're able to jump again, regardless of the fact that you're actually not on the platform. You do have a small window of opportunity to still be able to activate your jump. We're also trying to incorporate mechanics that are a bit more forgiving on where you land, so you can kind of just miss the platform, but it'll still treat as if you landed on it.
It's a really nice quality of life feature, and just makes the game a lot smoother to run. It's really fun.
We really want to focus on the flow of the game and making sure it's a smooth experience. So those kind of support features really help cement that.
All right, so this is the final level. This level was built as a speedrun challenge level. Basically just tries to pull in plenty of mechanics from the other levels. My current time to beat on this level is 1 minute and 37 seconds, which I think is faster than any of the devs at the moment.
Yes, it is actually faster than any of our dev times. This build was from AvCon this year, which is when I think you first started playing it.
Yeah, it's when I discovered the game.
And we actually had a speedrunning challenge for this level. And we had our own dev time set, and they stayed up there for quite a lot of the weekend. And then we had some of the speedrunners come through and just knock them all off.
It was really awesome, getting to meet you guys, see Australian devs working on Australian games. Just good quality games as well that we can just pick up, play, even speedrun. Because the moment I played this, I was like, yeah, I want to try and beat some top times on this game.
I really enjoy it from a community perspective. Just seeing all you speedrunners come around on that last day of AvCon and trying your hardest to beat each other. It was such a rewarding experience as a developer to see you all enjoying something that we've worked hard to create.
And it's awesome that PAX has given this opportunity to actually show off, what cool things we can do between us and the devs. And that's time, by the way. So I want to thank ASM for giving me the opportunity, and thank Melonhead for passing me this version of the game to actually play, to speedrun, to show to you guys. And be sure to go check out their booth. It's a really fun game.
We also have a party mode where your friends can jump in as the gunners and disrupt the level while you're trying to run through it. And you'll take turns running through it and try and get the best score possible.
That's it from us. Stick around for the next run.